Hey Kev's crew, good day to you. Thanks for stopping by. Please remember to subscribe. Hey crew. Okay, the Club Shay Shay and Katt Williams interview. Is Shannon Sharpe going to break the internet? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, so ever since Shannon Sharpe interviewed comedian Katt Williams on his podcast for Club Shay Shay, and the video was published on YouTube. I believe it was published on January the 3rd. Since that time, it's gotten 49 million views. 49 million views. So think about that. Let that sink in. 49 million. So my question is, how far is it going to go? Is this one interview going to break the internet? Will it qualify as the most watched video on YouTube? That's what I'm wondering. So if you didn't see the interview, and it's probably not likely that you haven't, unless you're just not in that circle of, preferences watching that type of content. It was a wide-ranging interview that lasted almost 3 hours, or maybe even more than 3 hours. I'm not sure. That's his video duration was like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and he may have cut some material out of it. Shannon Sharpe may have cut some material out of it, but what was published on YouTube was 2 hours and 46 minutes or something like that. Shannon Sharpe is an excellent interviewer, and he seemed very easy. He just pulls answers out of people, and they just, talking and just laid back. And then he has his brand of liquor that he gives them, and they just kind of get cozy, and then they just talk, and it's just them two. And next thing you know, they done spilled their whole life story. So I guess that's the point of being a good interviewer, is to making the person feel comfortable enough to, be candid. And Katt Williams, he spilling the tea is not what he did. He tossed out the tea and broke the pot, and during the interview, he talked about growing up and his, not troubled childhood, but how he left home early. He didn't disparage his family, but, he said him and his father didn't get along. It was best for them not to be under the same roof. And how he, I think he said the things he had to do to try to make it. I think he said he stole car radios and sold them. And I think he slept in parks and things like that. He didn't have an easy route. I'm sure he did some things he regretted, but he definitely did not have a cushy childhood. But what was most memorable in the interview, which is what everybody's talking about, and it has the internet on fire and YouTube going crazy, is that he talked about several comedians who are considered titans in the comedy world. And, he shared a lot of specific, detailed information that shattered the perception that other people may have of those comedians, shattered the positive perception. So he talked about Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley. Let's just say that those comedians, in the days following, in a few days following after that, they had a lot to say. A lot of them jumped online and they were posting for their life. So there's that. But Katt Williams also talked about his friendship with Prince, and how they were really close, and they gave each other advice. And so it was a really, really good interview, really insightful, and have a really real deep respect for Katt Williams, who I believe is hilarious, and most people would agree. He's an excellent comedian, and I think he's underrated. And because he doesn't have all the commercials, and is not in all the movies, and but he did point out that he has his fair share of HBO specials. Well, not HBO, of I believe Netflix specials. I think he said he had 12 of them, and so he's not hurting for no money. And he's just as funny as ever. So that interview is on fire and still going strong. Even though I noticed maybe in the last few days it was hitting around that 45 million mark. And then, over the last few days, it was ticking up 46 million, 47. I think this morning when I checked, it was 49. And by this afternoon, or late afternoon, no, it was 48. And late afternoon, it was 49. So I'm waiting for it to hit the 50 mark. Now, Shannon Sharpe ain't crazy. He is taking advantage of this viral video, and he has sliced and diced that video better than a Ginsu knife. I have seen so many different clips of different portions of the interview. Katt Williams talks about this. Katt Williams take on that. Katt Williams on this, on that. That man is smart. And those videos are getting millions. So he's making millions upon millions upon millions of videos. Of views. And so, hey, he is taking advantage of it. He ain't stupid. And Katt Williams ain't crazy either. He said he doesn't do a lot of like promos, for when he's going to make an appearance or do a show or something like that. He said he doesn't even do promos. But this video will raise so much awareness of wherever he might be that people are going to be looking for him. But I guess too, when you got 12 Netflix shows, you're doing something right, and you don't have to be out there on radio shows and doing other forms of advertisement to get the word out. He's successful enough. He doesn't even have to you don't even have to get out there and try to sell it. It's almost like Beyonce. You just drop a CD, or you drop a whole album with no promo whatsoever, and it just sells. Downloads after downloads. But when you are good like that in your industry, I guess you just, you don't have to try as hard. But I almost think there's some kind of mystique to not pushing the product and just being like, you know what, I'm gonna secretly drop this album. I'm not gonna tell people I'm here. People are gonna just see me in town or whatever, and then they're gonna flock to me. This is if you're good in your industry. If you, but it's something about not trying to push it on people, which makes it seem kind of elusive, and then you end up doing even better than trying to spend money advertising. So this viral video is going to do wonders for Katt Williams, even though as far as advertisement and raising awareness of who he is and where he's going to be. So he's not dumb. He went to the source, dropped a bomb, and then now everybody's talking about Katt Williams. Now, for anybody who doesn't know who Shannon Sharpe is and been living under a rock, like I'm sometimes known to do, he is an NFL player. He played in the NFL for 14 years for the Broncos, mainly for the Denver Broncos, and he's known as one of the greatest tight ends of all time. And most recently, he is hosting or co-hosting or part of ESPN's First Take. And he has a very successful podcast that's also published on YouTube known as Club Shay Shay with 2.4 something million subscribers. So there's that. And for those of you who may not be familiar with who Katt Williams is, he's a professional stand-up comedian who's been in the industry for about 25 years. And he's also an actor. And he will throw a pot of hot tea on you in a minute if you cross him. So Katt Williams is serious. But also he appears to be a very generous person, because during the interview with Shannon Sharpe, he talked about how he understood how it was coming up as a young comedian, and how, you weren't making that much money, and how you struggled. And so once he got established and he was familiar with other comedians who were talented, but they were struggling financially, he would anonymously send money to them, like thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. He would send somebody to send money to these people, and not identify where the money came from. Just say, hey, you're talented, and I know how hard it is out here. Here's some money to help you get by. And he did that. That's what he said he did on Club Shay Shay. And not too long after that video was posted, a lot of comedians came out and said that was him. They had received money. They corroborated his story. They said they had received money in that similar way, anonymously, wrapped up in like a towel or something, kind of, just real low key. Here's some money, to help you get by. And they realized it after the fact that it was Katt Williams who was doing that. But when it happened, they had no idea. Katt Williams didn't identify it was coming from him. He didn't care if they knew. He just wanted to help. So, that, confirmed that what he was saying was true. These people were just, jumping online and saying, hey, that money came from Katt Williams. It's true. He's a generous person. That's what, these people were saying, and they were backing him up. So, so apparently he is a very generous person. And, so, that interview was really cool. I think that Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience podcast is also published on YouTube. So to my knowledge, the most viewed podcast episode from the Joe Rogan Experience that was published on YouTube had 57 million views. And that was published 4 years ago. So the Club Shay Shay interview with Katt Williams is at 49. And it was published 12 days ago or within a couple weeks. So we will see. I mean, I don't think that's going to have any problem surpassing that 57 million mark. But I mean, you never know. So I just wanted to jump on and talk to you guys about that. I don't know if you're going to check out the video for yourself. You might want to, just to, look at some of the things that, listen to some of the things that Katt Williams said. He has a fascinating life, and you might want to pay close attention or special attention to what he said, how he says he grew up as a child, his upbringing. I found that was fascinating, and how he was out on his own so early, voluntarily. And, I'm not one to try to propagate like tea spilling and, salacious or gossipy stuff, but he does talk about a lot of comedians and kind of dispels some myths or sets some records straight about stories that have been out there that maybe are true or untrue, or just I guess telling it like it is the way he sees it. I don't think he sees himself as gossiping, but I think he's just saying, this is my experience and this is what I know is true. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to watch another video. I really appreciate it. Please remember, if you feel so inclined, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications too. And I'll see you when I do.